Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating modern fable, drawn directly from our source material. We are going to explore a story that dives deep into wealth, deception, and the true markers of human character. Honestly, it's one of those narratives that forces us to look in the mirror and ask ourselves what we genuinely value in our relationships.
So be honest with yourself for a second. Have you ever judged someone's worth by the clothes they wear? Or, maybe the car they drive? We are kicking things off with this crucial question because it sits at the absolute heart of today's story about two lovers, Adam and Emily. It's human nature to look for those quick visual cues to assess success, right? But as we'll see, those cues can be incredibly deceiving. Let's dive right into this and see exactly how this story unfolds.
Section 1. The Setup. The Hidden Tech CEO.
We're starting off in the bustling heart of New York City, a place where, let's face it, wealth is often worn right on your sleeve. But our protagonist takes a completely different approach. Adam Wilson isn't just wealthy, the guy is a billionaire. He owns a massive tech company literally worth billions of dollars. And yet, he actively rejects all those flashy displays of wealth. He chooses to live a disguised life, wearing simple clothes and driving a totally ordinary car, just moving through the world like your everyday guy. He doesn't want people to know he's an ultra-wealthy CEO because he wants to interact with the world on authentic terms, completely free from the distortion that extreme wealth usually brings with it.
Moving to Section 2, a simple romance begins.
So this ordinary facade Adam's putting on, it becomes the absolute perfect testing ground. Our story brings us to a local cafe where Adam meets a beautiful and highly ambitious woman named Emily. They strike up a conversation, and a really genuine friendship quickly blossoms into romance. But Adam makes a pivotal decision here to test if her affection is actually genuine. He conceals his immense wealth. He introduces himself simply as a mid-level manager at a small company. And for a while, this works beautifully. They spend time together, they talk, and they seem genuinely happy. Adam just wants to know one thing. Does Emily love his personality, or would she only love his money?
Section 3. The Lure of Luxury.
Everything is totally great at first, but let's trace exactly how these external pressures build up to a massive breaking point. We start at stage 1, pure friendship and romance. Emily is perfectly fine with Adam being a simple manager. But then stage 2 hits. A friend tells Emily, you're so beautiful, you should really marry a rich businessman. And boom, that seed of doubt is planted. Moving right into stage 3, Emily's focus shifts. She starts comparing Adam to the elite. She actually tells him, I wish you had a big house and a luxury car. Adam just smiles and brushes it off, keeping up his test. Finally, this toxic comparison inevitably drags us into stage 4, abandonment. Emily completely stops looking at who Adam is and starts obsessing over what he lacks.
Section 4. The Reality of Richard.
Right on cue, a new character enters the picture. And talk about a night and day difference. On one hand, we have Adam, simple clothes, kind-hearted, seeking true love. And then we have Richard. Richard is a wealthy young man Emily meets a few months later, and he is covered head to toe in branded clothes. He's arrogant, he's selfish, and he constantly flaunts his money. He basically represents everything Emily's friend told her she deserved. Blinded by all that superficial glitter, Emily becomes completely captivated by Richard's flashy lifestyle and starts distancing herself from Adam.
Section 5. The Breakup.
Seduced by all that flashy luxury, Emily actually calls Adam to meet up one evening. And when they do, her whole tone has changed. When Adam asks if there's a reason they can't move forward, she delivers this devastating line. She says, I want a high status in life. I want to live with someone who can give me a luxury life. The heartbreak here is just palpable. Emily is clearly stating that Adam's character, his kindness, and their connection, they just aren't enough to outweigh his perceived lack of financial status. She is ending the relationship purely based on his bank account.
Now think about Adam's reaction here. The guy is literally a billionaire. He could have instantly revealed his true identity right then and there. He could have bought her the biggest house and the most expensive car on the spot just to win her back. But he doesn't. He stoically accepts her departure, offering only this: if that is your happiness, I won't stop you. He realizes in this very moment that she has completely failed his ultimate test of character, so he lets her walk away.
From this moment on, their paths just completely diverge. For Emily, the initial thrill of those expensive parties and foreign trips with Richard, it sours really quickly as she experiences his true, arrogant nature. He is selfish and honestly doesn't care about anyone's feelings but his own. Meanwhile, Adam isn't throwing a pity party. He is silently, diligently, focusing on building his tech empire and preparing for his company's massive annual meeting, an event attended by the country's absolute top industrialists and media.
Which brings us to Section 6, the billion-dollar reveal.
So, a few months go by, and by sheer coincidence, Emily and a friend find themselves in the audience of that exact same massive industry conference. As the event begins, the host announces the keynote speaker. Emily watches in absolute shock as the man walking onto the stage to thunderous applause is none other than Adam. Behind him reads his name, Adam Wilson, CEO and founder. And right underneath his name is a staggering number. His company is valued at over $20 billion, $20 billion with a B. The ground completely falls out from under Emily. The small-time manager she dumped for being too poor is actually a billionaire titan of industry.
And finally, Section 7, the moral resolution.
As the event wraps up, all that shock just turns into this crushing, overwhelming wave of regret for Emily. In tears, she approaches Adam and begs for forgiveness, admitting she made a terrible error in judgment. Adam's calm, crushing response is simply this: "Your mistake wasn't leaving me. It was pricing a human being by their bank balance." Wow, it's an incredibly powerful moment. He doesn't yell, he just points out the fundamental flaw in her value system. She is left standing there, head bowed, with absolutely no reply, as Adam walks away to continue his life.
So, what are we really taking away from all of this? Well, first off, true love is based on a person's true identity, not their wealth. Second, relationships driven purely by money are fundamentally unstable. They just do not last. Third, and this is a really big one that Adam learned, the rightful owners of your success are the people who willingly stand by you during your struggles, not those who only show up for the finish line. And finally, true wealth is found in character, honesty, and heart.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final lingering thought. How are you measuring the worth of the people in your life? Are you looking at their labels, their cars, their status? Or are you looking at their character, their loyalty, and their heart? Take a moment to really reflect on that in your own relationships today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one.